Tansikiawa, Heather Souter Deshna Karshan, in Michif, Camperville, Manitoba, Ostinia. Nimieten, Inagashka Deck, Vic Linternet. My name is Heather Souter. I am a Michif, a Métis from Camperville, Manitoba, and I'm very pleased to meet you through the internet. I've been working in language revitalization, Indigenous language revitalization of my language and other related languages for about 25 years now. I am an ancestral language learner. I started to learn my language at the age of 42. We have very few speakers left, mother tongue or birth speakers left of our language. And when I came back from living overseas, I was living overseas in Japan, working as a simultaneous conference interpreter and translator. And that was when I heard how endangered, you know, the term that people like to use, the negative term, how endangered our languages, especially the language I speak now, Michif, was. And so I decided to come back because of the responsibility I felt to help bring our language back out into the air again. And when I came back, there were maybe 50 speakers in my community, my adopted community. We're very mobile people. It's a Métis community, but I went there, and now there are two. There are two speakers. And both of them are in their late 80s. Many of them didn't want to speak language with me in the beginning because they didn't see how speaking Michif would be useful because, quote unquote, it was going to die anyhow. It wouldn't get me a job. It wouldn't do anything for me. And I kept asking, and eventually, some of them just said, okay. My auntie was always good with me, and she's always loved language. She just passed on about a month ago. And she was a wonderful speaker and a wonderful mentor to me. And she always spoke her language no matter what stigma, what discrimination came from doing that. And our people are stigmatized because we are, quote unquote, mixed, but we are our own people for many hundreds of years, and our language is also that way, so it's also stigmatized. But she never stopped speaking, and she is the one that gave me my language back and gave me pride in who I am. And it's through language, really, that I developed a much deeper understanding of who we are as a people, and started to fill in the holes in my heart and in my spirit with what it meant to be Michif, what it meant to be Métis, and how to understand the universe, basically, and gave me a new way of thinking, a new ontology. Some of the things I always knew, but in Western English dominating hegemonic language, it was submerged, and there were things that just didn't make sense to me. And it was only when I started to learn my language, so many things started to make sense because I was getting my language back and getting that framework back. This is one of the most important things that I think about language in language revitalization, language maintenance, language revival, is that it feeds our spirits. And it allows us to have a connection to our ancestors and to those that come after us. I think it's important. Our language, we believe it has spirit. And everything is sacred. So without language, it's impossible to have right relationship in some ways, or as good a relationship, I guess, with all our relations and all of the entities in the universe. So right now you have a chance. You have speakers, more speakers than we have, many more. And I believe you still have some children that are learning the language at the feet of their parents and grandparents and aunties and uncles, and they still play in the language. Please, please continue to do that. But know that language gives so much more than opportunities to get ahead in life, learn English, get a better job. But money and material things don't save us. Only relationships do. And to have a right relationship with others, for me, has really come through my language. And if we lose that, we lose ourselves. And through language, I've regained myself. So as you're doing your work, keep your community close. Listen to your elders, listen to the youth, listen to your hearts. And do recordings, but create spaces to speak your language with pride, to speak your language with love, to have fun, to do art in it, to keep it alive, to make words that you need to talk about new technologies, new ideas in the world, because our languages all have the capacity to express all of those things. But if we do that in English, our values, our worldviews, they disappear. So it's really important that you keep your languages alive, not just for yourselves, your communities, but for all of us, because it gives us hope. So I've learned recently about, especially the efforts of the Tamang community to revitalize or maintain, to document, to teach your languages. And what you're doing and how you're doing it, where you keep community right at the center of the work being done, is beautiful and effective. And there will be probably needs to learn some of the newer technologies and newer skill sets. But the most important ones are skills that allow us to have right relations with others while we're doing this work. And I saw that. I heard about that. And that is a really wonderful example to the rest of the world as well. So I look forward to hearing more about your work, and perhaps maybe one day being able to visit and share and celebrate with you with what you've done. So keep on doing this wonderful work that you're doing. Thank you.